Hey guys, back with the studio build video for today. We are building custom cables to make mixer inserts as direct outputs. It's definitely not made for that purpose, but I wanted to maximize the gear that I currently have. And I currently have an XR12 for stereo recording. And I've already maximized the 4 preamps here on the drum kit, which is a kick snare and overhead. Still have several line inputs here. So I'm going to take advantage of this Xenix 1002B and tap the signal from the mixer inserts as a direct output. You can definitely use the one-click hack where you can get any TS or TRS cable and insert it halfway until you hear the first click. It's definitely not the most robust connection, so I decided to make a custom cable. And depending on your mixer, most signals on the inserts are post-gain, pre-EQ, and pre-fader. So that's just something to take note of. All right, so I'll see you back at the workstation and let's build this cable. All right, we're at the workstation. I won't go through the equipment that you'll need in order to build these custom cables, but you can definitely check out this video during an XLR cable build where I go through some of these gear. And I won't go through how mixer inserts work, but you can definitely check out this video where I talk about mixer inserts. So how do you make a custom insert cable as a direct output cable? Quite simply, there are several ways to go through it, but my preferred way of going through it is you get your typical TRS 1/4 inch or 6.3 millimeter jack and you terminate it into your regular TS 1/4 inch 6.35 millimeter jack on the other end. And the concept is the TRS plug goes into the mixer insert and then the TS plug goes to your recorder. In my case, the TRS plug goes into the inserts of the Behringer mixer and then the TS plug goes into the line inputs of the XR12 mixer recorder. Basically what you do is you short the tip and the ring into the tip of the TS plug. I'll put a diagram up here on the screen. Again, you take the tip and the ring from the TRS connector and you connect them both into the tip of the TS connector. Your shielding and your ground will remain the same. They will be connected. So you basically can use a single core audio cable with shielding, or you can also use a dual core audio cable plus the shielding for this type of build. All right. In my case, I'm just going to use your regular dual core cable. So let's get straight to it. All right, so we're working with Rockstone plugs today. Rockstone TS plugs and Rockstone TRS plugs. I believe they are China-based brands, Chinese brands, made in China, of course, too. It's my first time using them. Recommended by a colleague. And I'll be using summer cables, German cables. All right. So I'll just be doing 3-meter cables. All right, cables have been stripped and cables have been tested. They're all good. Let's check out these plugs. All right, so Your TRS plug, similar to an XLR cable, comes in 4 parts. So you have your boot, you have your chuck, or cable clamp, you have your actual insert, your TRS insert, and then you have your housing or your casing. So I'm assuming the TS plug is the same. It twists open. You have your chuck, your cable clamp, your insert, TS insert, and then your outer casing. In this case, okay, these TS plugs don't have a guide on the housing. As you can see, there is no notch, there is no guide. So it'll go any way, however way you want. What's going to hold the plug in place is definitely this, the cable clamp. So this has to insert this way on the inside, and that's gonna push. I have a feel for it. Yeah, that's gonna push the insert into place, and when you screw this on, hopefully it keeps it from rotating. At the moment, yeah, I think it's okay. All right, similar to XLR cable builds, you want to insert the boot first, because you're gonna have no way to put that in once you solder the insert. So I'm going to do the TRS end first. So as you can see here on the TRS end, you've got 3 places where you can solder the cable wires, right? So this big one right here is most likely the shield or the sleeve. And here, if you're not sure, I can already see just looking at it that this one over here on my right is connected to the tip, and this one is to the ring, right? You can always double check if you're not sure. Right now that's on the tip, and correct, yeah. So that's the tip right there, the one that connects to the middle. This one is the ring for sure. So if we switch over to the ring, true enough, that's the ring, right? And just for continuity's sake, that will be the sleeve, and this is the sleeve. Okay? So there are many ways to go about it. In order to short, you can just use one cable, really. But it is important that you short the tip and the ring to each other, right? So what you can do is on this side of the TRS cable, so that I don't need to place any other jumper wires inside the plug. So what I would do is I'd get the red, which is usually the hot signal, and put that into the tip. The blue, which is the cold signal, that goes to the ring. Of course, the shielding goes to the sleeve. On the other end, I'm going to have the tip, which is this on the TS plug. As you can see, there's only one pin in the middle, and that's the tip. This is the sleeve, right? I'm basically going to short the red and blue wire as such and solder that onto the tip, right? So in that manner, your tip and your ring is now shorted. So the TRS plug is what goes into the mixer inserts. The TS plug is what goes into the recorder, right? So basically, you just shorted the connection. The same signal that goes into the tip goes into the ring, right? Via that wiring. So that's basically it, right? So I'm just gonna solder this and I'm gonna show you the finished cable. All right, so that's your TRS plug. All right, the red cable goes into the tip, blue cable goes into the ring, and then the shielding goes into the sleeve, right? I just checked continuity-wise, so definitely the red and blue is now shorted on one end, and it is good solder right there. So that's your TRS plug. So in order to close it up, you just get the chuck, get the casing. There is no guide, so it'll slide through easy, and then just twist to lock. That's a good plug right there, right? So I'm gonna do the other end. All right, first things first, get the boot. Insert the boot first, right? Then over here, we're going to place the red and blue cable, which is your tip and ring on the other side, short it into the tip, okay? All right, so that's your TS end. We can definitely double check continuity and see how that fares. So what we're expecting is the tip on the TS should go to both the tip and the ring on the TRS, which is the case. And it shouldn't go into the sleeve. Sleeve on the TS should go to the sleeve on the TRS, right? Similar to the TRS cable, just place in your chuck, your cable clamp, get the outer casing, slide it in, there is no guide, and twist to close. And there's your custom TRS to TS cable, mixer insert to direct output. Let's go ahead over back to the studio and give it a try. Oh yeah, by the way, before we head over to the studio, I think it's a good idea to label these cables because it's a custom cable, so we don't get confused. So I guess I'll just call it insert to direct out, something like that. All right, so we're at the mixer. We've got mic 1 set up, channel 1 going into the main PA. We're gonna switch to the camera mic to test this out. Check, mic check, 1, 2. Cool, so we've got signal going through mic 1, channel 1, main PA, right? Again, here's our custom cable, inserts to direct out. Again, TRS cable goes into the inserts, and the TS cable goes into the recorder, right? Since we shorted the tip and the ring, just to double check, we will still get signal through the mic. Check, mic check, 1, 2. Cool. So let's try and connect the TS direct out into the recorder. All right, so we're here with the XAir XR12 mixer recorder. We've got the mic set up on the left. We've got the Behringer app on a smartphone, okay? Here's our direct out cable. We're gonna insert it onto channel 5, because channel 5 and 6 is going to be the vocal tracks. Let's try and get this in focus. So at this moment, we should have signal going into channel 5. There you go. Check. There we go. I'm going to try and record this. Check, mic check. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Check, mic check. Just to prove a point, the mixer inserts are actually post-gain. As a reminder, it's post-gain, pre-EQ, and pre-faders. You can see the channel faders all the way down, but we still get signal going into the recorder, right? And just to prove a point, I'm going to make an exaggerated EQ move here. So I'm going to cut the lows, cut the mids, and boost the highs. And we're still recording here. Check, mic check. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Check, mic check. I'm going to try one more time. We're going to do the opposite. Boost the lows, the mids, cut the highs. Okay? And I'm pretty sure if we listen back to this, it should still relatively remain flat because the mixer insert taps the signal post-gain, pre-EQ, and pre-fader. Right, so as you guys hopefully heard, my mixer inserts tap the signal post-gain, pre-EQ, and pre-fader. So it doesn't matter what settings you set on the analog mixer, it's going to send a clean signal to your recorder, right? So I think this is still a very good hack to increase your preamp count on your recorder if you have an analog mixer with mixer inserts lying around, right? So with that, I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.